Ephesians 5:15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, but not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, giving all honors and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Wah, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom for your diligence throughout all these years. You've worthy of the title. Shalom to the 144,000 men. There's truth throughout the four corners of the globe. Shalom to the innumerable 1,000. Brother Yazraala from the GMS Dallas camp coming back at you with a quick hit. This is an addition that I do from time to time. Pick 3 and edify thee, or pick 3 to 4 precepts, and Abaratazah, edify those who are meant to receive it. Now, as Paul made mention to the church in Ephesus in the 5th chapter here, see then that ye walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. And that's exactly the times we're in right now. Okay, we're in this latter end time where this matter is about up, but we know in doing so, there's getting ready to be pangs, there's getting ready to be perilous times. That straight gate is on the way. All right, so in this time that we're in right now, man, it's time to really put off that weak nature, man. It's time for brothers to start really manning up. Okay, all this laughing and giggling and being goofy and all that shit's over and done with. It's really time to start putting on that austere mindset, that stoic mindset of our forefathers, man, as we're coming closer and closer to, and hasting the day Yahweh Shah's return. There's a lot of things that have been happening. I know a few of you brothers have heard about the brother out there in the West Coast who got attacked, right, by some Jake that, when you say Jake, some nigga, one of the things that he mentioned was that, the nigga had, had a full beard, no lineup and all that. And I just thought that was interesting, because we know, as we redeeming the times, we know this devil is, he's accomplished a diligent search. All right. He studies, he watches everything that we do, our conversations, the things that we preach about, even in our personal. Okay. This man's really done a diligent search on us. So he knows certain things that we know to look out for, right, when dealing with Jake out here. So this man comes up on the brother, man, and pretty much, pokes him a few times, man, with a knife, and tried to take the brother's life. Now, I ain't gonna go too much into it, because the apostles don't went through it and other brothers don't went through it. But, nonetheless, the point is to walk circumspectly. Circum meaning as in circle, and spec meaning to look. Look around in your surroundings. All right, who you keep company with. All right, who you make mention of things to, even in this truth. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this Jeremiah 4. Being in this truth, like I said, that this damn devil, he knows. He's accomplished a diligent search on how we move and how we operate and things to look for. And he's sending, agents and whatnot away. If Jake, if you're not up on the spirit, you're not in the spirit, man, and you're not paying attention, you can be caught in a perilous position, man, that can ultimately cost you your life, right? So this is Jeremiah 9:4. Take ye heed every one of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant, and every neighbor will walk with slander, right? So brought that out to say, certain brothers that may, brothers come by, hey man, shalom, they know the name of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, they don't know how to salute you, and all that, you know what I mean? Say particular things that they know, and how we communicate and how we move. But just because a brother does that does not mean that he's a brother. Okay, that's why scripture talks about judging the spirit by the spirit to see if he be of the Most High. And that's just not in speech. That's in just also the way that a man walks, all right, how he moves, all right, his countenance, all these things are give way, all right, if you're in the spirit. The Lord would allow you to see things that you may not see otherwise if you're in your jollity, all right, if you're not sober. Right, scripture's talking about being sober, especially in these times that we're in, because our adversary lurks about like a roaring lion. Okay, so being circumspect and watching and reading, brothers, and everything that they do and say, scriptures talk about even when you may have an issue or certain, but be mindful of who you even confide in. Scripture talks about, roughly paraphrasing, honor 1,000, but take counsel with one. All right. And each brother, you know, camps across the world, man. There are certain brothers, or particular brothers that you may have, or brother that you may be closer to than other brothers. You know what I mean? Y'all have built that rapport, you've built that relationship. You know what I mean? And certain things that, you know, we go through which are on a daily, you know, you may want to confide in a brother, but don't be so quick to just run and tell your business to anybody. All right. You have a brother or an officer, particularly, you know, because that's what the officers are set up for. But even then, you know, we are all kings and priests, or at least we're in the office of it, right? We're striving towards the masteries of it. So within that process, you know, you be circumspect on the things that you tell, you know, counsels that you seek from brothers, man. Don't go and just to this brother all over the place, man. All right. We were warned of that in the scriptures, man. Give honor to all the men, all the brothers that are in this, but, you know, have one. You know, you may have a brother that you confide in, or you may want answers to, and a brother will esteem you, you know, and such, and conversate with you and maybe give you good counsel, you know, something that, but it may be bitter onto you. Maybe something that you don't want to hear, so you're going to go to another brother. Okay, and you ultimately go into all these different brothers until you find the one that is saying to you things you want to hear. No, that's not how we move or how we operate, man. Okay? That brother, any man like that is a man that's unstable, all right? Because we look at each one of each other. Each one of the brothers look at one another like we are Yahushua. You know, so take time, you know, really build that relationship with Yahushua before you just get into, if you cross over and just start trying to buddy up with everybody. No, that ain't what you really want to do. You want to buddy up to your husband, okay? And Yahushua will put that spirit upon you, man, all right? And he will make things known in his time. But until then, your number one goal and focus is to get as close to Yahushua as ultimately possible, man. Okay, as a matter of fact, what is that? Isaiah 62. Let me grab this here real quick. And this won't be too long. I just, you know, I wanted to get in and out, but I definitely wanted to make a point as it was on my spirit too. This is Isaiah 62, and the point is in 7, but I'll start at 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem being a people, because we are people before we were placed, which shall never hold thy peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. Right, so we have men that were set up before us that came into this thing, and as you come into this thing, you become in their stead, in a sense. The scripture talks about we've entered into another man's labor. So we are watchmen, all right? So we are to watch. You watch your brothers, okay? Not only in the sense of protection, but also who you dealing with and how they move, let alone watching the enemies, all right? Because there are certain of you that are in these camps that are enemies, that are agents. You think we don't know? Of course we know. But Yahweh Shai is going to let that be revealed, man. That's why the number one thing is what? Going back to what I mentioned, building that rapport with your husband. Building that rapport in the spirit with Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, man. If you have an issue or a problem or something, yeah, we have brothers. Yahweh, first one you want to go to with an issue is Yahweh Bahashim Shai. Pray, fast, anoint yourself. Okay, and if the spirit comes upon you where you feel, okay, well, you know what? I need to go to an elder, I need to go to an officer, whatever, then so be it. But listen to the spirit ultimately, man, and follow order. Okay? Here's the point. And give him no rest. Give who? Yahweh Shai no rest until he established, until he make Jerusalem a praise of the earth. Right. So day nor night, give Yahweh Shai no rest. Ultimately what? Because what we can never do enough. Going back to building that rapport. All right. And that situation, brother, where the brother had that happen to him, you know, put fear in Israel, man, ultimately. Because there can be any one of us, man. That could happen to any one of us. Okay, at any given time. And it was pretty much a lesson, and Yahweh Shai used him. All right, though it was a painful lesson, but nonetheless, all right, he's to be blessed for it, because, you know, at the end of the day, he counted it all joy. That shows that Yahweh Shai was dealing with him. And that also shows, if you're in the spirit, that Yahweh Shai may deal with you in the same manner. All right, at least you be built up. At least you stay in order. All right, at least you be circumspect, man. Watch your surroundings, man, and pay attention to what's going on around you. Because I brought out the days are evil. Evil meaning bad times. We're living in a very, very bad time right now. Okay? We'll go back to that real quick. Jeremiah 4, 9 and 4, Salakia. But yeah, having that mindset through the Spirit will get you out of a lot of situations that you may find yourself in, especially as the days grow closer to the end. Jeremiah 9 and 4, I'll start from the top. Take ye heed every one of his neighbor. Take ye heed, right, watch, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant. Jacob literally means supplant. Okay, and every neighbor will utterly slander. Goes on to say, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongues to speak lies and wearied themselves to commit iniquity. You see? Okay? So ultimately, we're not perfect, man. We're in this flesh. Okay? It's a daily fight every day. Scriptures talks about how we die daily. Right? For those of us that are trying to do better, separate from the world, so forth and such. All right, those things are good. Ultimately, all right, that's the whole goal. You know, but if you're not on your watch, you're not doing your thing, the Lord can put a reprobate spirit upon you, man. The Lord can ultimately make you bug out. Okay, and it could be a test for any of the brothers that are around you. You see? So even when dealing with the brother, there's a way to deal with the brother. All right? Not being so quick to, Scripture talks about if you find a friend, prove them first. I think that's Timothy. Right? Don't be so quick to credit him. Oh, yeah, man, Shalom, it's my brother. No. You know? Move as Yahweh Shah would move, ultimately, man. And watch things. Watch your surroundings. Let me grab this here. Because even in this truth, we know that there are certain men, there are certain agents that are out here, okay? That are in these camps, man, where they're gathering information. All right, you telling this brother this or telling this brother that. You know what I mean? You're confiding this brother this, confiding this brother that. And how do you know that brother don't, do something that wind up getting him kicked out of the camp? And now he's got information on you. This is something that the beloved Elder Yashawama brought out a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was heavy, but it's true. You know, you may be dealing with a brother you thought was cool, man, and the brother does some real bugged out stuff, get kicked out of the camp. Now he becomes disgruntled. He becomes a scoffer, but at the same time, now what? He's got all kind of information on you, man. Your personal life, your family life, all this your stuff. Why? Because you were quick to go run your mouth to him. You see? So it's, again, going back to what? Being circumspect, right? Let me see, get this Sirach 12 and, let's get straight to the point here. 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So if because ultimately, what's that going back to? Each and every man out here, every person out here is set in their lot. Okay? And some have the spirit of Satan on them. Some Jakes out here got the spirit of Satan on them. You have your father of the devil. Okay? So they will move in such a way. You know, and ultimately these people, the 2/3, though, yeah, they're Israel, but they're still thine enemy, man, at the end of the day. Okay? And you don't know who these people are. You don't know who these men are. So that's why you have to take time. Scripture talks about being slow to speak, quick to listen. Be slow to tell people your business. Is that be quick to just listen to the Spirit. Okay? Listen to the elders and your teachers. All right? For they watch over your souls, man. Right? And he says, though he go humbling now, just to qualify this is talking about Esau, Edom. But I said that to say there's a lot of Jakes out here, okay, a lot of niggas out here that look like Jacob that aren't. Okay? That may come off as he's a brother, but that is not. Okay? They have the spirit of Esau within them. So you got to watch this. Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself, and though he go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him. And thou shalt beware of him. Beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust is not altogether wiped away. Right. So I said, ultimately, that's talking about Esau, Edom, but then it goes back to also, the wicked parts, the wicked portion of our nation. Going back into that lot, because everybody was created to be in a specific lot, and that lot doesn't change. You don't become wicked. You're not wicked, but then all of a sudden you become an elect. Or you're not an elect man and all of a sudden you're wicked. Now you're 2/3. Doesn't work like that. Everyone is in their lot. Okay? So you have to watch. Okay? It all goes back to being circumspect in these times that we're in right now, man. Okay? One more here I want to grab here. Just let me grab that. Psalms. And again, you know, I brought out some couple of these verses here because qualify these some of these verses here are talking about Esau. But again, going back to, you know, when you have these jakes that are, you know, of our people, you know, of our nation, you know, coming after and attacking, whether physically or coming up on the comment board and scoffing, because we know who's that who crucified Yahushua. Who's that who was adverse with Yahushua? It was our own people. Those same spirits are back here today. Who's that pushed the persecution on the prophets, on the disciples? It was our people. Okay? So we're coming back into that time where, yeah, Jakes, people that look like you, look like me, okay, they're going to be at the head or the forefront of this persecution. It's not going to be so obvious, right? You're not going to be able to look and, oh, yeah, he's one. He's one. No, it's not going to be like that. This damn, as a serpent, man. He moves, as scripture talks about, he's the most cunning beast of the, subtile beast of the field. Right? And anyone that has that vibration on him, has his vibration on him, they're going to move accordingly the same way. Okay? This is Psalms 10. I'm going to grab this here. I'll make a quick point. Let's see here. Yeah, here we are. 10 and... Yeah, like I said, now these precepts are talking about Esau, Edom, but they qualify. I'm qualifying it for that, but they can also be about Jake, because what happened to this brother was off, man. It was wicked. All right. Okay. I'll just start at I'll start at 8. So I'm sitting at 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the village, in the secret places doth he murder the poor. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Okay, so again, this is talking about Esau, Edom. Okay, but we know within this ministry, what do we call this ministry? This is the secret place of the Most High. Okay, this is that covering. All right? So ultimately, we know that there's agents that are here within this secret place, just waiting. All right? Waiting to make a move, gathering information and intel and bringing back. Okay? Because ultimately, what's it to do? They're trying to stop or destroy this movement. Okay? They are haters of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, just as they were haters of him when he walked the earth 2,000 years ago. It was our people. Yeah, well, you know, we were in the Roman Empire, so you had a lot of Jakes who were just, you know, following the decree that was put out. But ultimately, nonetheless, it was our people. Okay? So go and say, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, and the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. He lieth and waits secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth and wait to catch the poor. He does catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Right? So see, and I thought of that precept when the brother was telling me about the situation that happened. You know, maybe out and about, walking, me and brother come up, you know, hey brother, how you doing? Maybe with your family. You know, Jake ain't got no lineup. You know, he may even have fringes on. You know, come up to you, maybe name of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So what? Okay, again, going back to this man has studied us, right, and how we move and how we deal with one another. And he will send people out. He will send agents out that will look like on the surface, oh man, this is a brother that's in this truth. He knows the lingo, right? He's understanding the order, all these things, man. So he will send his agents out into our secret place, man. And for whatever reason, gather whatever information, ultimately to come forth with the persecution that we know is coming. Right? So going back to what? At the end of the day? Being circumspect of the time that we're in right now. Okay? Now I don't even want to make this too long. You know, I just want to bring out a few precepts here because it was on my spirit. to do so. Just you have to know and understand, in these times that we're in, Scripture talks about, as the name of this lesson is, beg. All right, ultimately, roughly paraphrased. I don't remember exactly what the name of the lesson was, but continue to beg. Ultimately, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I just brought out the precept: give him no rest. All right, when you're giving someone no rest, you constantly, because we're coming into a time where we're gonna need Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, like never before. Okay, so that Isaiah 62:7, giving him no rest, constantly begging him. All right, putting him in the remembrance of the things that he promised that he would do for us in these times. Well, Lord, you said that you was going to do this. I did. You said you promised this, or you said that. The Scripture talks about. Yahweh says, yeah, pretty much bring it to my remembrance. So we have to beg him, because we're coming into a perilous time that has never been since the history of the world was created. There's never been a day that we're coming into like the day that we're coming into. So beg meaning what ultimately? All right, beseech thee, beg meaning pray. Constantly be in prayer. Give him no rest. You're going to need the covering of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua like never before in the times we're coming into. So giving our power no rest, constantly begging for protection, all right, for healing, for your family, for the Akim, for the few Akwat that are out here that have bent an ear, for your elders, the apostles, the elder bishops, okay, the officers, your Akim, constantly begging the Lord, praying constantly. You don't have to, you can do it at any time. You don't have to say stop, go over in the corner, face, and just no. You can be in the car and just pray. You don't have to be out loud. You can pray within yourself, within your mind, but constantly beg Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Why? Because the days are evil. All right. So with that, I want to give our honors and praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.